Good morning, everyone, on this early Monday morning. Hopefully, you are all off to a good start. As weather-wise, no problems out there. Had just a little shallow fog, but a lot of us started between about, well, let's say 49 and 54. So a typically cool start to your early Monday morning, but we'll have lots of sunshine, and it's not going to be nearly as breezy as the last few days. I'll get into that here in just a minute or so, but highs today will be 75-ish, so pretty close to normal. Should another beautiful day, and this fall weather will continue in that same type of fashion. Yeah, we could actually use a little rain here and there, but it looks like we're going to stay dry for the next 7 to 10 days. I don't see any real moisture source heading our way, as all these fronts are going to heading from the northwest, and sometimes in the fall you get these cool fronts, and they're kind of what they call moisture starved. And I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of rain, as through the midweek, high temperatures will slowly warm into the mid and upper 70s. We may hit 80 on Thursday. I think a lot of us will. And then another cool front will push through late Thursday night into Friday, and that will give us another cool down with more sunshine expected for the weekend. So I want to go ahead and show you our weather maps, and basically this is the extended forecast. But before I get into that, there you see the leftovers of Ian. That's just off the Atlantic coast, just off of Washington and off the New Jersey coastline, and it's going to be strengthening and pushing back offshore. Now it's going to give those folks maybe a little bit more leftover rain and maybe some coastal issues, but it will pull off the coast. But I was mentioning that it was so windy the last several days. Why? Well, first of the factors, obviously, you had Ian, but before you had Ian, you had strong high pressure. And now that high pressure is located down across southwestern Louisiana, and you have high pressure down there, you have the low pressure associated with what's left of Ian, that's to our north and east. So it's giving us a funneling effect. They call it a pressure gradient. If you can imagine, basically, a pool of water that goes from something very wide to something very narrow. It gets faster and faster and faster, and that's the way the atmosphere is working when you have that low pressure to our north and east, and you have high pressure down to our south and west, and both are fairly strong. It allows that air to be pushed faster through a certain zone, and that's why we have stayed breezy for the last several days. Now, as both of those start to pull on off to the north and east and weaken to our south and west, our winds will gradually lighten up over the next couple of days. But here's a look at what you expect over the next several days, and I just don't expect a lot of change. Notice low pressure pushes off the coast, warm, and then that next front pushes on through. There's a couple of chilly nights, Friday night, Saturday night, and then into next week. Another front tries to get in, tries to pull a little moisture, but it kind of gets blocked off as it pushes into the south and east. One more time, you can see that cooler weekend, and then maybe a few clouds, but most of that rain stays off into parts of the Ohio Valley and the Midwest as we head into the next several days. So don't see a whole lot of change. Beautiful fall weather if you have outdoor activities. Once again, it will be getting a little drier, but over the next couple of weeks with this type of weather, you're definitely going to see a little change in that foliage, as I'll kind of harp on that a little bit more later this week. So take care, be safe, have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you later.